Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Good Day Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Chicago. I'm Brian Jackson. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following this morning, including President Trump will deliver his State of the Union address later tonight, and several area lawmakers are boycotting. American tourists in Mexico are still being warned to stay inside as the violent fallout from the death of our cartel leader continues. We're off to another cold start this morning, but Mike says a little bit later this afternoon we could see some mild temperatures and a lot of wind. Good morning, Mike.
You nailed it. It's going to be windy, but at least we're headed for the 40s. That's going to feel pretty good out there. Skies are mostly cloudy currently. Let's talk temperatures first of all. A lot of teens. My carbometer on the way in was kind of locked at 19. Got 21 at Waukegan, O'Hare, Midway, the Lakefront, and Gary. 18 though at Aurora, 19 at Woodstock, and it's 16 degrees at Valparaiso. Not that windy yet, but the winds will be picking up through the day. Temperatures getting into the low 40s though by late this afternoon as cloud cover thickens just a little bit. Chance of a sprinkle. Back to you, Brian.
President Trump will deliver his State of the Union address a little bit later tonight. He's expected to highlight what he is calling strong economic growth, amid concerns about high living costs and trade policies, as well as addressing immigration and foreign policy. Many Democrats plan to skip the speech to show opposition to his agenda. Some of them will attend a counter rally and deliver their own addresses. You can watch the State of the Union address right here on Fox Chicago starting tonight at 8. Illinois Congressman Sean Casten will be among the Democrats who will not be attending the address. He released a statement saying that he cannot abide by the disrespect that President Trump shows to the office of the president. Congressman Casten appeared on Chicago Live yesterday and said that he's being put in a tough spot.
You're in this lose-lose situation where either you're mistakenly understood to be giving the president respect he hasn't earned, or mistakenly understood to be disrespecting the office that's not there. So I just felt that it's better to watch from afar. We'll certainly pay attention.
Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky and Delia Ramirez, along with Congressman Mike Quigley, also will not be in attendance. Our Chicago Report debates continue this week. Tonight at 6, right after the news at 5, we have Republican candidates for governor squaring off: Ted Dabrowski, James Mendrick, and Rick Heidner. Well, closing arguments will be delivered today in the trial over a wrongful raid here in Chicago. The raid happened in 2018 at the home of Ebony Tate. According to court documents, Chicago police swarmed the wrong apartment in the back of the Yards neighborhood. The Tate family says officers pointed assault rifles at children and forced a grandmother to stand outside without pants on. Well, American tourists in many parts of Mexico are being told to stay put. The Mexican military is still battling with cartel gunmen following the killing of cartel leader El Mencho. He died in a shootout with the military who were trying to capture him. So far, at least 73 people, including 25 members of the Mexican National Guard, are all dead. Former DEA agent Michael Gannon says the impacts of his killing are unpredictable.
Anybody that is traveling and goes to Mexico at different times, you look at the State Department and you see where there may be issues, and you pay really keen attention to that. And even right now, if you're there, certainly laying low for while this violence is going on.
The White House confirms the U.S. did provide intelligence support to the operation to capture the drug lord. The city of Harvey votes for a new mayor. Last night, City Council selected Alderwoman Shirley Drewinski. The council previously appointed Alderwoman Drewinski to continue to serve as mayor pro tem until last night's vote. Her appointment comes after the unexpected passing of former Mayor Christopher Clark earlier this year due to an undisclosed illness.
Thank you very much. Thank you. As you can tell, for those of you who know me, I was very, very nervous. So I am honored. I'm truly, truly honored. Thank you. And council, thank you very much. I pledge to work with each and every one of you, and hopefully we can actually have a decent conversation and work together and keep the communication flowing. So I thank you very much.
That appointment comes after 2 previous mayoral votes ended in ties. A warning this morning from Chicago police. They say that someone is using a dating app to rob people in the Woodlawn neighborhood. So far, there have been 4 reported armed robberies. They've all happened in the exact same spot in the 6600 block of South Blackstone Avenue. The first was back on February 5th. The most recent was yesterday, just before noon. Police say a man is meeting the victims on a dating app, though it's not clear exactly which one. He gets them to agree to meet in person, and then when they get together, police say that the man pulls out a gun and robs them. Anyone with information is asked to please call Chicago police. A state lawmaker says that he had police called on him while he was canvassing for votes on the city's north side. Democratic State Senator Mike Simons was going door to door in the Buena Park neighborhood on Friday. He says a resident of a building called police on him. A woman didn't believe that he was a lawmaker and asked for documentation. Police responded to the scene and spoke with Simons about the incident. He's running for Congress in the 9th Congressional District. Well, several parts across the Northeast are waking up buried under this, a blanket of snow. Many of those areas saw record snowfall. In some of the hardest hit areas like New York City and New Jersey, travel bans were in effect. The heavy and dense snow combined with high winds of up to 60 miles per hour left more than 600,000 people without power.
Blizzard of 26 has now officially surpassed the blizzard of 78 for the most snow ever recorded in a single snowstorm in our Rhode Island state history.
Thousands were left stranded at airports as more than 10,000 flights were canceled nationwide. But the NFL Scouting Combine is now underway in Indianapolis, and we're going to be hearing from the Bears brass a little bit later this week. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing what they're thinking about. Bears head coach Ben Johnson and GM Ryan Poles are expected to address the media today. Now, we haven't heard from either one of them since the end of the season. Bears are looking and getting a look at some of the players who will be in the upcoming draft. The Bears get the 25th overall pick in the first round. The USA men's hockey team landed in Miami. Wasn't where they were supposed to go, but weather forced that diversion. Plenty of fanfare after their gold medal win over Canada on Sunday. Some of the players did stop to talk about what things have been like since their big win.
Feel good, obviously. Last 2 days or whatever it's been long. I don't think we've let it soak in yet, but we're just super excited to be gold medalists.
It's been a whirlwind. It's been amazing. It's a dream of ours. It was such an amazing way to unite the country. We felt the support being across the Atlantic, and now being back on home soil. We can feel it the second wheels hit the ground. So excited to be back in the greatest country in the world, and so excited to celebrate.
I'm sure at some point our first interview there, Jack Hughes, is going to be visiting the dentist after getting a couple teeth chipped out of there. President Trump has invited the team to attend the State of the Union address tonight. The moment resonated far beyond the ice, captivating the nation and inspiring, hopefully, another generation of players. Blackhawks head coach Jeff Blashill shared his thoughts on what this victory means for the future of American hockey.
I think when you watch teams celebrate, man, it's cool. It's a reminder how great it feels when you win. The rivalry has become a great thing for hockey because, as I said yesterday, credit to USA Hockey for, building up from the grassroots foundation to where we go into those tournaments expecting to win and on par with a country like Canada. So the fact that it was a great win and not a miracle, I think, is a great thing.
It was awesome. We were all sitting here in the locker room, had on the big TV, and chants going back and forth, screaming. It's pretty cool to watch. And then obviously when US won, all the US guys in here were jumping and screaming and going nuts.
There are an awful lot of Canadian guys, though, too, on the Blackhawks team. All right, we have mostly cloudy skies out there. And Thursday is kind of the day, if there's going to be something of impact other than the win today, that would be the day. But it's looking less and less likely that that's going to be a big deal around here. Currently, though, it's cold. 21 at O'Hare, Gary, 18 at Aurora and DeKalb, 20 at Kankakee and Merrillville. We have a chilly start to the day. It isn't that windy yet, but the winds are going to be picking up here right now, straight out of the south, which will blow in some warmer air. I think we can get into the low, maybe even mid-40s in a few spots today. Here's our futurecast, and you see the increase in wind gusts here. By late morning, we're already seeing some 30 to 40 mile per hour winds. That will continue here for much of the day, so it's going to be blustery. Notice how the winds start to turn southwest here later this afternoon. And I think tonight, the winds will begin to die off just a little bit. It won't go completely calm, but we're also seeing a wind shift from south to northwest. That will be the arrival of a cold front, which will knock our temperatures back tomorrow. Overnight into tomorrow morning, we're still looking at winds that could be gusting to more than 20 miles per hour out there, so it's going to be a blustery time. 42 today, southwest winds 16 to 32, mostly cloudy, a few peaks of sun here or there. Tonight, there may be a sprinkle early between about 5 and 7 o'clock. No big deal with that. We'll drop eventually down to 25 tomorrow morning, 35 tomorrow, 38 on Thursday, and if somebody's going to get a measurable snow, I think it's going to be way south of I-80. 55 on Friday, then temperatures trend downward. Could be a little light snow here Sunday night and Monday.
Well, coming up, FedEx is now filing a lawsuit against the Trump administration at the Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs. We'll be right back.
Can't trust.
Now on Good Day Chicago, closing arguments will be delivered today in a trial over a wrongful raid in Chicago. That raid happened back in 2018 at the home of Ebony Tate. The family says officers pointed assault rifles at children and forced their grandmother to stand outside without pants on. The city of Harvey votes for a new mayor. Last night, City Council selected Alderwoman Shirley Jawinski. Her appointment comes after the unexpected passing of former Mayor Christopher Clark earlier this year due to an undisclosed illness. President Trump will deliver his State of the Union address later tonight. He's expected to highlight what he is calling strong economic growth, make concerns about high living costs and trade policies, as well as address immigration and foreign policy. Many Democrats plan to skip the speech to show opposition to his agenda. Well, FedEx is now suing the Trump administration over alleged financial harm imposed by President Trump's tariff policies. The lawsuit is seeking a full refund over some of the payments it made under the policies. This marks one of the first major lawsuits regarding tariff reimbursements since the Supreme Court ruling back on Friday. Lawsuit did not disclose how much FedEx has paid in tariffs or the dollar amounts the company is now seeking. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office releasing photos of the items held by the man who was shot and killed after trying to enter Mar-a-Lago over the weekend. The images show a shotgun and a gasoline canister. 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin was shot by Secret Service agents after allegedly pointing a rifle at agents. He entered a secure perimeter of the property on Sunday morning. Martin's family described him as a quiet golf course groundskeeper with no apparent interest in politics or guns.
Words that we said to him was drop the items, which means the gas can and the shotgun. He put the gas can down and pointed the shotgun at the officers.
They know the who, the what, the when, and now they're just working on that why. And that's really one of the most important questions here.
This follows the incident last week where an 18-year-old was arrested for approaching the U.S. Capitol with a gun. Security at tonight's State of the Union will likely be increased. New details in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Fox News Digital is reporting that one of the FBI-released doorbell camera images was actually taken on a different date than the other. The source says that the photo showing the suspect without a backpack was taken before she's believed to have been abducted. The Pima County Sheriff's Office is dispelling that, saying any timestamp on the photos were not provided. Meantime, volunteers are now organizing their own search parties to help and find Nancy. They're citing slow progress in the case, nearly a month after the 84-year-old vanished from her home.
I feel like they should be doing way more. I feel like more people should be out here helping. If it was their parents, I'm pretty sure people would want people to help. So I just think people should just put themselves in their shoes.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department addressed those volunteer search groups over the weekend, asking for them to give investigators the space to do their work. Time is now 4:46 this morning. Mikey, we're talking about some high winds a little bit later. Just how high are we speaking?
Maybe up to 40 miles per hour. We don't have a wind advisory, but we'll be close to that qualification. Good morning, everybody. Let's get the kids to school this morning. They're going to need the winter coat again, hats and gloves, even though we're talking about a little bit of a warm-up today. This should get us into the low 40s, just a couple of degrees above average here as we close out the month of February. Windy and cold, still 34 degrees at noon, and at 3 o'clock for the ride home, blustery, but at least it'll be 42, maybe a few peaks of sun. I just think it's going to end up being cloudier this afternoon than any breaks we get in the morning. Mostly cloudy, quite windy, not as cold as it's been in recent days. At 42, though, isn't going to feel as warm with that southwest wind in your face at 16 to 32. Colder day tomorrow, 35. Then on Thursday, it still to me looks like the system for the most part is going to miss to the south. I'll keep a small chance of a few snow showers in there, mainly well south of I-80, but most of Chicagoland's getting nothing out of this. And even if we get something, look at that high on Friday, 55. It would melt an inch or two of snow quickly. Saturday, 42, and then temperatures cool off again. Sunday and Monday, highs will be in the low to mid 30s with a chance for some light snow Sunday night and Monday. Back to you.
A team of paleontologists with Chicago ties discover a new dinosaur species.
Chicago.
There's a new survey about the state of education here in Illinois. The Illinois Education Association talked not only about teacher pay and funding for public education, but they also spoke about ICE activity. The survey found that the majority wanted the state to invest more money, not less, in public education. The number was higher when they asked parents of public school children that same question. The respondents also felt that public school teachers are paid too little and don't get enough support. However, only a third said that they were aware of teacher shortages, but those who were aware, 84% said that they were concerned about it. 57% of people said that they were worried about ICE arresting them, a child, a parent, or a school employee on school property.
In the city of Chicago, a lot of this activity did revolve around the schools, so we thought this was a very important question to ask.
I know that students do better when they're free from fear. And when students are concerned and when parents are concerned about sending their students to school because they're scared about what could happen to them, students don't learn as well. And so ensuring that every single child has the ability to learn in an environment that is free from fear is important to us.
Pritzker requested state lawmakers increase public education funding by $305 million, but that is less than what the State Department of Education wanted at $350 million. Well, millions of years after they roamed the earth, an extraordinary find is opening a new window into the prehistoric world. The paleontologist who led that mission is from right here in Chicago. Our Casey Cronus shares the details.
In a remote corner of the Sahara Desert, a local scientist unearthed a new dinosaur species. The expedition was challenging and at times treacherous, but it resulted in the discovery of a lifetime. Led by paleontologist Paul Serino from the University of Chicago, a 20-person team uncovered the fossil of a previously unknown Spinosaurus in Niger, Africa. Serino's first mission took place in 2019 when he found jaw fragments with the help of a local guide. But when they returned as soon as they could in 2022, they made a remarkable discovery. It's been named Spinosaurus mirabilis. The fish-eating dinosaur featured a striking crest. An animation shows how it may have hunted. Serino suspects the dinosaur could have been buried suddenly by a river. He and his team used CAT scans and other technology to help reconstruct its skeleton, bringing it back to life.
We knew that no one had ever seen anything like this. We began to understand the piece we had picked up belonged to this exotic crest, like a scimitar, like a sword coming off the top of the head. It was such an emotional moment because this dinosaur is so exalted, it's so bizarre, it's so rare. No one had found that much of a Spinosaurus since 1915. It was everything it was meant to be. We collected more bone, 50 tons, than probably any team will ever collect under the harshest conditions.
A recreation of the Spinosaurus mirabilis skull will be on display at the Chicago Children's Museum, located at Navy Pier, beginning March 1st. Dr. Serino plans to return to Niger for future expeditions. He is also setting out to build a fossil lab there and help the country establish a museum. Reporting in Washington Park, Casey Cronus, Fox Chicago.
All right, time now 4:53 this morning. Checking in with Mike. Thank goodness we don't live on the East Coast because they got hammered.
I'm going to show you some of the snowfall numbers here, actually the map that reflects that, but you're absolutely right. Record snowfall in many big cities, New York, Boston, clobbered. They had heavy snow in Philadelphia. But if I had to pick an epicenter for the heaviest snow, and you can see where the bright pinks are, that is where the heaviest snow came down. I'm going for Providence, Rhode Island, because in that area, there were reports of over 30 inches of snow. Our model here is only showing 24 to 25, but there are ground reports of up to 38 inches of snow. Bear in mind, the biggest snow that we have had in Chicago is 23 inches, okay? The biggest snowstorm pales in comparison to what they've had up there in the Northeast. For us today, Little bit of a thaw. We go to 42 this afternoon out ahead of a cold front. It's just going to be so windy out there, you won't really be able to enjoy the warm-up as much as you ordinarily might. Southwest winds in there at 16 to 32, and there will probably be some stronger gusts. Let's look at the 7-day forecast here because we have some ups and downs. Tomorrow, behind the cold front, it's colder, but we'll have a little more sunshine, and it won't be as windy. There's the trade-off there, 35. Thursday. Small chance for some snow in the area. The farther south you are, maybe those areas could be in line for an inch or more of snow south of I-80. I just think the bigger snows are going to be way downstate. 55 on Friday, 42 on Saturday. Then another shot of some colder air Sunday into Monday. Could be some light snow here Sunday night into Monday, but no big snowstorms in sight. We're about 5 minutes before 5. Be back with more of Good Day right after this.
Life.
Today marks 4 years since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Center for Strategic International Studies estimates that 1.8 million soldiers have died. The U.S. has attempted to get Ukraine and Russia to negotiate on a peace deal. However, progress is stalled due to different ideas on the future of Russian-occupied Ukrainian land and post-war security. Hollywood is mourning the death of actor Robert Carradine. His family says he passed away following a years-long battle with bipolar disorder. Carradine was best known for his roles as Lewis in Revenge of the Nerds and as the father of Hilary Duff's character of the Disney series Lizzie McGuire. He was 71 years old. The British Academy of Film Awards and the BBC are apologizing for a racial slur that was broadcast during Sunday's award show. The slur was shouted out while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting an award. It could be heard live on air. John Davidson, the man who shouted it from the audience, suffers from Tourette's syndrome. He says he was deeply mortified, and what he said was not a reflection of his personal